Have you ever felt abandoned? Today we're going to explore a plot line that I've created for this deck of cards, completely made. So let's get into it. Have you ever felt abandoned? Or have you yourself ever abandoned a great treasure? Well, let's explore what that would look like as a card trick. Today we will represent your greatest treasure with the Ace of Diamonds. Lost in time. But over time, you may find a new greatest treasure. No matter what you do, that treasure will always look and remind you of your greatest treasure. So now you're wondering, of course, what did we abandon to time? Abandoned, but not forgotten. That, of course, is the red herring, which represents the misdirection of life. For your greatest treasure has been beneath your fingertips, within your grasp this whole time. Hey Google, turn on flashlight. And there you can see the diamond, your treasure. And that, of course, is the Ace of Diamonds. And that is my abandoned plot line. Hey Google, turn off flashlight. Magic. Using the phone. Anyway, so that little mirror effect that comes with this deck, I didn't talk about it in the card review. So we're going to do a little bit of a breakdown, and we're going to teach you this trick right now. So, if you check out my card review video for this, you'll notice there's some things missing. All of that information can be found in the description. I used the ad copy from 52 cards. Thank you for, the work's already done there. It has all the information you're going to need, as well as an affiliate link to pick up your deck today from Amazon. Of course, if you use the affiliate link, I do receive a small commission. Now here's the setup. Whatever card you want to force on the bottom. Now, something to keep in mind is that whatever way you want the red herring to orientation of that, you want to reverse that to put it on the bottom. So now you have whatever force card you're doing and then the red herring. Okay? Now you're starting with the abandoned card here. Now this is where I had my issue with this plot, is that if this were a double backer, it could be a little bit easier. So if you did some double stick tape with the jokers, then you might be able to use that. Otherwise, here's what we had to come up with for this. So of course, this is simply going to be lost into the pack, which is going to create your first set of misdirection, because clearly you have a face-up card in the pack. So when you start into your swivel cut, I call this the double retention, and this can sometimes happen, so you really want to take this part real slow from here. If you have to, you can do another swivel, as long as you don't mess up the fact that there is a face-up card on the bottom. And you can even take a second to look to make sure you've just got the two cards there. That's fine, bring it over, because the misdirection is you're covering up the pack, and now you're sliding this out from what's perceived to be the center. And of course, we got the three again there. So, either way, you just want the two cards, and you'll feel like if that's not right, and you can clean it up however you want. So now you expose the Ace of Diamonds. Then place this down and cover it up. You're isolating the red heron, which gets you one ahead there, and then you're already one ahead here for the turnover card. Now, this next part, don't shuffle the deck. You can do a flourish. Don't do the fake cut, all that. Don't do any of that. You can do a dribble or a spring, which keeps the cards orientated. This is just a moment to break up your first phase. And now you want to go into your pattern for your next phase, which is a beautiful card because it's similar to the Ace of Diamonds, but it's the Eight of Diamonds. And what that does is you're going to talk about how your greatest treasure will always, after it was abandoned, find a new treasure, and that new treasure is just simply going to remind you. And at the same time that you're doing the spin, you're just going to nonchalantly turn over your hand. So let's see if we can get big move covers small move. It's just nice and isolated. You're just resting your hand. That's really all you're going for. And then you show that that's the ace. And of course, that makes you wonder, what is this card? Now, you do want a little bit of space in here, a little bit of misdirection. And you kind of want to line up your plots, because if you've got to use the card, you might want to do that. Now, a little word to the wise here. You're just going to want to do a couple pull-offs here, block past the middle packet, and then you're going to want to go all the way down to the bottom to show the abandoned card. As you're talking and then you motion to this card, of course, we're wondering, what did we abandon? And as you say abandon, you want to isolate this card over to here to give you a little bit of a field, right? You're creating art here. What has been abandoned? It's been abandoned. Again, abandoned. That's all they're seeing is abandoned. That, of course, is the red herring, which represents the misdirection of life. Because, of course, your greatest treasure, and this is really what you want. You want this view here where everything is clean. You've isolated it and you've created this effect where their card is in the center. It's really where you want it, and it's face down. And that's really the effect that you want to go for. Spreading that out. Now you can use your phone. You can use their phone. Great time to get some interaction going. Like, hey, we're going to need your flashlight. Do you have a phone? We're going to use this here in a little bit. I like it because it does create this magical element because I can activate it with my voice. Hey, Google, turn on flashlight. Magic, right? Now you can have this card held over there while you're doing that so that the diamond is exposed immediately. And they're really going to be able to see that. Then you can slide over to here to really get that ace of diamonds there, which you can definitely see it a little bit better on in person. It's really hard with the orientation of the camera and the light, but you can see the diamond there. And then what you're going to want to do is you might even want to say, hey, Google, turn off flashlight. Hey, Google, turn off flashlight. Hey, Google, turn off flashlight. Third time's the charm. Then that way your phone is out of the way. The light isn't blinding anybody now. And now you've separated that effect. And then you can do a nice little turnover flourish. Try to make sure that you... I mean, that's fine. It looks cool, but maybe a little bit higher. There we go. You want to put your finger there, turn it over. Now what I like to do is toss it on top of the red herring, which gives you this little break from that. The abandoned's over here. You've got this really nice setup going for you. So, hope you guys enjoyed. That was really nice to put together, and I really tried to think about it a little bit. I did this video a couple of times, and I went through the routine of the trick just so I could flush out anything. It's not polished by any means, but we had to come up with a resolution for the abandoned card as to it being in the pack. Now, like I said, if this was a double backer, which you could create by doing double stick tape on the jokers, then what that would allow you to do, and it might even be a little bit easier too if you were to go with that idea, because if it's on top, when you can have it on the bottom, it'd be in the deck, right? So when you go to do your shuffle, you just look for that, like the thicker card, and just leave it on the bottom for when you do that move. So you just have to come up with an idea of a way to do that, and that's an idea for another video. But this is this is a nice little trick I put together with the abandoned plot line, which includes the interaction with the audience, which is really what you want. It does utilize your phone, which is always nice when you can bring in other devices, because then I could also do like a card to phone idea, where if you really wanted to add another phase, then let's say you won't work with the ace, but let's say you use the Jack of Clubs for your force card. I just use the ace because that represents treasure, right? So in this case, let's use the Jack of Clubs here, and what this will allow me to do is let's see here. So you have the phone here. You're good. You're not doing your I would guess you're not exposing the back yet. This could just be another phase. If you have this app, you can just at some point with the red herring, you can just have it over here like this, and you can just say, well, what we're going to do is we're just going to simply bring the red herring over, and you're actually going to start to see your card. Now, of course, they're not going to know it's a red herring yet, but you're just going to get their card to appear on the phone. But of course, this card was the red herring the whole time. Then you can go into the move where this is already prepared, right? So that's just adding the phase in for when you spread out the deck, and then you have your phone face down so you can hide what you've been doing there. Then turn on your flashlight, then expose the light here, and then go there. So that adds just another phase to that, which lets you use the phone twice as a utility as well as another plot. So you really think about these as they come together. Now, of course, I also have this over here if I wanted to throw this in. This is ring, which if you wanted to incorporate ring magic, then of course, instead of saying like treasure, then you can talk about how the Ace of Hearts is your... Now, this also doesn't come with a blank card, which I love blank cards. If I wanted to destroy one of these cards, I could create a blank card pretty easily. And that, again, that's another concept for another video. I've done it with bicycles because they're pretty cheap. But the ring has the Ace of Hearts on it. So, of course, you can, instead of using the phone, you can use the ring as a plot device. So there's multiple options for this that I think you really want to leave those avenues open. So don't forget to check the description of the other video that's going to have the breakdown of the deck itself. Don't forget to check the description of this video. Affiliate links will be all over the place, especially with the holidays coming if you want to pick up this for yourself or for somebody else. Again, it does provide a small commission to me. I really love this deck, and I think it's definitely, hopefully, becomes an everyday carry for me because there's so much stuff that you can do with it. And there is, except for the red herring, there's nothing really, well, and of course the mirror effect, but that's not something that you're readily going to notice. So don't forget to subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And of course, remember, always remember, stay positive, stay active, and stay awesome. And hopefully, we see you in the next one.